It's like the Trump situation. I think that's kind of interesting. I think it's messed up that they didn't arrest Buddy, so Twitter couldn't have his moment. Uh, with the mugshot and everything like that. I feel like that would have been fun. Like that would have been like one of the best days on Twitter. I was talking to my friend, one of my best friends yesterday. We're talking about how, like, the last, like, one of the most like funniest days on Twitter was, sadly, when the Queen died.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just like the memes, the comments, like everything was just like the unity around the world almost, like all different backgrounds and ethnicities, like saying stuff because colonies and stuff like that pitching in. So like
Right.
all the things that were said and jokes that were made, I feel like it was really hilarious. And I just think like the next biggest one would have been for the a former U.S. president to get like arrested. I think that would have been another one where like the whole world would have chipped in and said their own little piece. Like
Right.
it would have been like I said, Twitter is so unfiltered. Like I think it would have been so funny. Like I think the comments could have really been funny. Like the reactions to it, both U.S. and foreign, both
Mm-hmm.
Democratic and Republican. Like this different. There's so many different layers to it. I think would have been funny. Like, but sadly we didn't get that moment.
No,
So
not yet. I mean, you know, they brought him up on charges. Um, so I guess the way they do it, it's almost like a hearing. It's not, you know, it's not like if we did something, we ain't having no hearing. We're going to jail. You know what I mean?
right.
So they have to kind of rock it out that way. And of course, he got up there and was like, denied everything, and then
Mhm.
flipped it back on him as like, no, I'm not guilty, but you're guilty. So,
I think it's funny also in New York they have to do like official height and weight and everything like that.
mm-hmm.
So some of the stuff I did see was like, oh, 6'1", like 235. Like he's like, if his 40's not good, he's gonna be probably like a six lower round draft pick, like with that height and weight. Like no guard is pushing 260, like that frame. Only at 6'1", like he can maybe play center, but I just feel like he's not gonna be one to take and not receive. Like he's gonna want to be in charge and point the finger, not with his hand in the dirt. And I just saw that, and I thought that was kind of funny because like there's all the different aspects of it. But like we'll see, like if they actually do it and what they say, what gets released, what doesn't get released. Like,
Well, weren't they streaming it like live at one point? Like I haven't like really haven't watched any of it, but I think at one point I thought they were
oh.
like live streaming the proceedings.
The only thing I think I saw, I mean, I wasn't like on top of it, but the only thing I think I saw live or like news coverage was them like booking him, like what's like their process going to the courthouse. But then
Mm-hmm.
once in the courthouse, I haven't seen any videos from like inside, just like videos of him like entering or videos of him like leaving and coming out. And then that one chick, the I don't even know her name either.
Stormy Daniels.
No, the it's a Republican chick. They kicked her out. I mean, they didn't kick her out of New York, but they like chased her out of New York. Like she ran away. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I didn't see that.
It's like I think it's I don't know her name. It's like that one like like a knowing white Republican lady. I want to say it's like something Green, maybe Green.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Well, she was there for the hearings or like to support him, and they just kind of.
I don't know her name. I just let me see if I can find it. Michael Rappaport was like chasing her out the New York. Um. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Taylor Greeny. Oh wait, no, that's someone else. Greeny, yeah, I don't know who it is, but Taylor Greeny is like this little lady. But yeah, no, it was interesting. I want to see what they do with that. Um, the LSU basketball thing is kind of interesting. What is your take on that?
Um, that is American a microcosm.
Yeah,
Like so, I mean,
but media
everybody
too.
everybody has an opinion, and it's just it's a it's a double-edged sword. Like I mean, there's nothing different. It's depends on who does what is how it's taken. So, um, And the girl from Iowa, like she's a beast, on the
Mm-hmm.
court. Like I didn't see anything she did that was wrong. You know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
she's playing, like she's living her best life. She's doing her thing. Now, of course, in any sport, like trash talking is a part of the game. So if you dish out trash talk, I don't care if it's to the crowd, to the stands, to other players, and somebody else is gonna do what they do. Like you just gotta, you take it with a grain of salt and you move on. Now, how
Yeah.
everybody's reacting to it is totally America. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I
But it's
hear
so weird. It's so weird. My thing, the reason why it's so weird to me is respectfully, I didn't watch the game.
I didn't
So I
either.
feel like most people didn't watch the game either.
Didn't either.
Because I mean it was a popular game, like the Final Four college, like it was. I know it's on TV and people are watching it, but like I for one didn't watch
I
it.
didn't watch. This is one of the few years I didn't watch the men's basketball championship.
Hmm.
Like I think if FAU would have won, I may have
Oh.
chimed in,
Mm.
you know, just because. But since they lost, I really didn't have an interest. I kind of knew UConn was gonna beat
Hmm.
whoever. So I didn't watch that. I didn't watch the women's finals. So like everything else, you catch it on Twitter, on the
Mm.
internet, and kind of play catch up. But yeah, that the opinions that are flying off. I wonder how many people that are commenting on the game. How many of
Watch
those
the game.
game?
That's what I think is the big thing, is like, because I feel like so many people are giving their opinion, and I just don't believe that they watch the game.
Right now,
Like,
I was gonna say the part that I do have an opinion on is so, and I don't even know how she got involved, but the president's wife
oh
invited
yeah,
Iowa to the White House. Like that is that's where it kind of gets murky because
they're just straight up privileges though.
yeah, losing team never comes. I don't care,
Hmm.
how it played out. Like only the winning team shows up. So
Hmm.
what's gonna be interesting is if I was Iowa, I wouldn't go. Like I would not.
Right.
But if they do show up, I'll be surprised if half of, not all of the Tennessee players, I'm sorry, LSU, if they show up.
Yeah, I wouldn't show up.
Like I just feel like that's they're politicizing it like
Hmm.
like normal. So it's just like that's the weird part. And
That
again,
one, yeah.
how the president's wife got the like when did she start calling shots and saying who shows up to the White House? It ain't like the president said it. It's the first lady.
Well, and then if he said it, I would say the same thing. Like, why are you even saying that? So I feel like both accords are. But yeah,
Well,
I think that was
he
weird.
can't say it. There's too much shit going on in the world for you to be worried about basketball. Like your dumb ass need to worry about how many countries are dropping off the US dollar like it's going out of style. Like,
That is something that's interesting. I
yeah.
forgot about that. You brought
No,
that
no,
one
no.
up 'cause I saw that.
Like
And I
that
was
is
like, oh,
like I feel like well not we. I feel like the media a lot of times will focus on one thing to distract you from something else. Like that is a big
um,
deal. Like all these countries ditching the dollar for whatever their main currency. That's a big deal.
that's a
Um
big deal.
it's a really big deal.
It's a
Like
huge deal. Foreign
the
trade, that's a big deal. Foreign companies, big deal. Like, that's a lot of different things. And like, yeah, I think
yeah,
it's weird. Like I said, like, media is so weird. Like, all respect to college basketball because it's always big around a certain time. Like, it's always big around a certain time. But like you said, like, there's always something to like you said, like, and I feel like you can't go too far away from those train crack fires and stuff like that. Like that stuff's still alive too. So we can't, like, like how the media is so quick to the next thing. But then, like, yeah, I saw that little thing and it was like, oh, Brazil dropped or someone like that, like someone else dropped, and I was like, oh, like going like again, like taking like the Chinese currency or something like that instead, like adopting that. I'm like, Like,
but we print money, so
yeah.
we print money. Like we just, it's not real. Like we just print. Like even
We
though
owe trillions and trillions of dollars, and I think
it
that's
sounds weird, so and then I know like the big thing is everybody's like, oh, they want to get away from paper money and just do, digital, you know,
mhm,
which we sort of do now, when you swipe card, but get rid of cash. And I was like, you can't really get rid of cash because one of the biggest cash flow businesses on the planet is drugs, and drugs uses paper currency.
right.
So figure out a way to do which you can, you know what I mean? It's not like you can't do Cash App transactions or Venmo, all these other type of transactions, but you know, everybody's in your business.
Right. Cash only, cash only.
Right. I mean, crypto is cool. So unless somebody comes up with a
Hmm.
where you can, do your not legal activities, that would be interesting.
I feel like that'd be interesting, but too many crypto billionaires are dying and falling off, jumping off buildings and falling off cliffs and stuff like that. I feel like that's and banks closing and stuff like that. I mean, the Bank of America thing. I feel like I don't know how they bank, but they barely bank. They
Well,
barely got any money in it. You
the
know,
in- do you know this is always the funny thing. I don't think people really understand how banks work, right?
the
So
bank's like extension of the government.
yeah, but how does a bank really work? So if I take $100 and deposit it in the bank, right? So
Mhm.
it used to be the bank had to
Have
make available a certain percentage of my money if I want to come and get it. So it's like they almost had to have a reserve, you know. Of, so FDIC, I think it's 300,000, but they passed a law not too long ago where banks don't have to. This is why that the bank in Silicon Valley went under. So now if I put $100,000 in the bank, that bank can take all that $100,000 and invest it in whatever they want. They don't have to. They can take it all and invest it. They don't have to. None of that is really secure. So every time people were making deposits in that bank, they were just taking that money and investing it over here somewhere. So banks literally just take the money that you give them and they invest it in.
mhm.
So that's how they make money. They don't give you any. They don't give us. I was gonna say any profits off of whatever investments they make. They just charge you fees for them spending your money. So like the banking system is really it's funky. You know what I mean? So it it's funky. Like
Yeah.
because again, you assume because you're putting your money somewhere that it's safe. It's really not. Like they're gambling. Like it's like
Mhm.
you're gambling. It's like anytime you take your money to a bank, you're gambling. You're just hoping that whoever these people are that are running the banks are investing money in sound ways and not being reckless. Because just think, you you put your life savings in one bank, and then this somebody over this bank says, "Oh, look at this new tech. I'm gonna dump everything in it because it has the potential to make me a ton of money." But then all of a
Mhm.
sudden it goes bust. And everybody's like, "Hey, I need to take my money out." You're like, "Yeah, but I don't have it. It's gone."
Right.
And there's a law in place that says that that's legal. So tell me how that's fair.
Right.
Like, how did anybody allow that law to pass? Like, the banks suck.
Because I think uh, I realized that like when you watch like old movies about the Great Depression, like movies around that time, like because there'd be some like movies that made during that time, and it'd be about a different aspect of life, but like you go like, oh, we're going to the bank, and then like they have like charts at the bank where it's like, I only have this much money in the bank today. Like you could only collect, $20 out of your savings, Jeffrey. Like because we only got 20 in the bank or like 100 in the bank, and I got to give money to this person and this lady down the street and all these different things. So it's like, oh wow, uh, like you get to see the aspect of like how almost like you said, like how like unfair it is, how like unreal it is, like. you think it's there, and then it's really not. Like, and I feel like that's another thing. Like when people go, and I think it's funny, and like you hear stories of like bank robberies and stuff like that. And it's like, how does this big old bank have like no money? And it's like, well, like the money's not here. Like it's not like this is the place where the money's like just stays 24/7. Like the money's not here. Like money doesn't stay here. Like this is not where the money is. Like it's not here.
Yeah, it's
There's only so like I said, there's only so much at one point. Now there may not be even that much. So
right. It's kind of fine. It's funky, man. So banks collabing, like you said. Now all these people, quote unquote, jumping off of buildings, dying in cars. You know,
mhm.
that's
It's
kind of
all
how.
weird. It's all weird.
Yeah, that's they're always jumping off of buildings and dying in car accidents. Anytime you're, I don't know, like I'm a multi-billionaire, millionaire, right? I don't care if I'm in crypto or whatever and I lose that money. It's not like I'm broke. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I have money. Like I can still live. I don't need to jump off a building.
Yeah,
Like now, do I get pushed off a building?
maybe
You know, I don't know.
someone hired to throw you off because so because your business dropped. Like I said, you still have money, but it's like the company that like I was investing in, like that doesn't like someone lost some cheddar and now they're gonna get back and they hire somebody to throw you off.
Right. Like, what do you mean he lost my money? Oh, he lost it. You ain't gonna make it tomorrow, player. And the sad part is the person that is the head of these banks is not the person that's responsible for any of that because there's a board. Like
Mm.
every bank has a board, and it's like the NFL. Like everybody gets mad at Roger Goodell, but the owners like hired him,
Yeah.
so he's a mouthpiece. Like no matter what he says, like Jerry Jones and all the other owners are really the ones who say, "Hey, we're doing this and we're not doing this." And he goes, "Yeah, but can we? No, 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 no. This is what we're doing. Like, just go out there and say it and make it sound good.
Robert Kraft and Jerry Jones and them like
Your job is to sell this player, so go do what you do."
about to be Jeff Bezos in Washington.
Oh, he's gonna buy the Commanders.
Well, Buddy finally agreed to sell it,
Oh, he
and
did.
yeah, and he's one of the dudes who wants to buy a team by himself, while everybody else
Bezos.
has like groups and like like collectives to buy it.
Uh, that would not that would not be fair.
It's just well, Walmart bought the Broncos.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, Walmart has the Broncos. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I think it's kind of.
Is that why John Elway left?
I don't know. I just saw it today.
Yeah,
That's
John
just-
Elway stepped away, so maybe you know how it is. Like they step in, they're like, "Hey, it's been cool, but we really don't need your opinion anymore because we're Walmart and
Walmart. We looking for what we're doing. That's what
we
I
have."
thought. Like that's what it seemed like.
Oh
But they
man,
just said like but like last year they like tore up the field and replaced it in like in a day.
hmm
Like did some like crazy number like bunch of money stuff like that. Like Walmart was spending money. I also know like the owner has a has an opinion or not has an opinion has the opportunity to like, change like signing bonuses and like guarantee contracts. Like they had to put that in escrow, and so like that's why Russell Wilson was able to get that because it was like they're like okay, like
right.
we could just put this aside. Like Jeff Bezos could do the same thing. Like okay, like
That's gonna make the playing field interesting because, like you said, now it's a money game. There's a salary cap, but it's really not a salary cap.
so
It's
now
just
it's gonna become like
how
overseas
much
soccer.
money do you want to spend is the question.
It's like soccer overseas. It's like okay, like I mean I don't know if you've seen it recently, but the other day, uh, you know how like the Saudi Arabian like soccer league or like soccer like that golf tournament thing that they got over here.
Live tournament.
Yeah, so they got one for soccer. They tried to pay this dude Messi. I think it was like $436 million a year.
What? I would be playing for whatever league that is.
In Saudi Arabia, somewhere like 400 million, like 437 or something like that. and he made like 360 in his career, and they're about to try to pay him like more than he's made in his whole career in 1 year, and it's like a multi-year contract because he's almost done, but like like he's about instead of going to like MLS and like coasting,
Right.
you just join one of those like live golf tours, Saudi Arabia, buku money, where they just here.
Yeah, they're throwing money away. Like
$437 like $1 billion a year.
I do not know why I did not play soccer. Like I'll
Yeah.
take 1/10 of that and be cool. Like you wouldn't hear peep. I take 2% of that and you wouldn't hear shit from me like ever. I'd be
Yeah.
sick. Jeez. Yeah, but
So,
they're printing money. So like those teams, like if he buys Washington Redskins, like you can. It's like at that point you can just go. I want you. Like you can now make a super team.
yeah. Well, with the
Like
salary cap, but then like there's ways to do it. Like I said, there's ways that it could happen. You can see
yeah,
it happen.
yeah. Teams do it now. Like so, if you want to get under the salary cap, you got to play on your roster. In theory, like I know the team that I cheer for has did it a couple times. They'll call you in and go, "Hey, we're gonna restructure your deal, so you owe 20 million over the next 2 years, and normally you get that on a weekly basis. I can just say, here's 18 million right here up front, and then this other 2 million, I pay you that over the next 2 years. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
now my salary cap number has went way down because I just gave you money in the bonus form, like so it doesn't count against the salary cap anymore.
Right.
Now I have more money to show. That
Right.
you
Like
can
Russell
do.
Wilson's contract is not that bad. Like it's not that bad on the cap. Patrick Mahomes' contract is surprisingly not that bad on the cap.
No,
But like you
they
said,
got
like it's just like the bonuses and how where it's coming from. But like you said, not every owner could just put that. Or like you said, like what if you have a dude like 4 year deal, 6 year deal? It's like let me give it to you now instead of being like, oh, I got 6 years to pay that, in a sense, like business wise, like, oh, I got 6 years to pay that 230 mil, like
right.
I got that. Versus like, oh, I'll give you like I said buying a car type thing, I'll give you the 130 right now up front if I can make this number smaller for the back end. Like
So now that you say Bezos wants to buy at Washington, if I'm Lamar, I'm not playing this year. I will sit out and wait for this dude to get the team because I'm probably already called him a couple times, or he's called me, and I'm like, hey, look, man, if you give me this number, like I will pack the house, like I will run all over the field. I'm gonna do what I do for you to pay me. Like it's entertainment. At the end of the day,
Washington's
like,
gross.
and he's one of the most entertaining dudes out there. It's like a marketing machine. So
Yeah.
I would not play with the chance of being able to get signed by like a team like that.
Well, Bezos also wants to go to a team with no salary cap too, or not no salary cap, no state tax,
He
because
should buy the Bucks.
there's some. I mean, no one really wants to, like you said, no one wants to sell. None of those states want to sell. It's like Vegas and like another one that he tried to partner up with it. And I think like some of the Miami, Florida, like I said, you guys got it too. So it's like that's the one he really wants, but like he said, he would settle for it. But then he also like last he was talking about buying a trunk from us. But then like I said, he doesn't want to he don't want to do a partnership. He
Right.
wants like the whole he could do like I said, he could afford the whole shebang. So like
Well, he should buy the Dolphins then, because if you wanna, if there's any team in the state of Florida that is probably okay with doing some stuff,
mm,
it would
yeah,
be Miami, because
they
it's
don't care.
game on down there. You can do whatever the hell you want to do.
Yeah, sure. So
Like
I want to see what they do.
that's gonna be interesting.
What pick do you guys have for the draft on some basketball or football teams?
19.
Oh, okay. You guys are like kind of with us.
Yeah,
So
we ain't.
you don't really, like really no idea, huh?
No, I mean we need D tackle because I don't think Shaq's coming back this year. So I mean, we need D tackle help.
Mm-hmm.
There's no quarterbacks out there. I mean, there's no quarterbacks out there to speak of right now. So
What do you think about Richardson?
the guy from Florida.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, he's a great athlete.
I think it's gonna be interesting.
He's a great athlete. Um, is he ready to be like a NFL quarterback? Absolutely not.
Not
Like,
at all. Not at
not
all.
even close.
He should have went
Not,
back to college.
not even close.
Should have went back to
But
college.
he's you can okay.
Did you
Let
see
me
him in the Florida State
no
game?
no. Let me restate that. There's one team that can draft him this year and make it work.
The Chiefs.
No.
There's one team you could draft this year, make it work. Hold on, let me think. Let me think.
There's one team in the NFL right now that can draft him and make it work.
Right now, right now.
Yep, right now, right now.
Who?
The Baltimore Ravens. So you got to think when Lamar Jackson came out of college, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but he's a better passer. He was a better passer. Yeah, but Lamar Jackson was at least his 4-year starter. Like Lamar Jackson should have came out of NFL. Like this dude should have stayed in college. This dude should have stayed in college.
Right, but again, if I'm Baltimore's whole system is based off of a quarterback who makes plays with his legs.
I don't think he could do it.
Like, yes, they throw the ball, but
I think better San Francisco.
if you have I'll say this about any coach, football is really easy if you simplify the game, right? So
Yeah.
Baltimore has is read like one side of the field. Like you can design a play. I mean, you could design a playbook for a player to make it work if you really wanted to. Like,
I think
you really wanted to.
the
I'm
Niners.
not saying he's gonna be like he would do okay. He would be serviceable if he went to the Ravens. Other than that, you just got to go somewhere and sit. Hell, if I'm Tampa, I'll draft him. I don't want him to play. I just need him to be on the team. Hopefully, you got a good quarterback coach, and you run the scout team. You practice him, like you put him through boot camp because he's raw. Like,
yeah,
he's raw in 3 years. When you unleash him, he could be a beast. Because just think about it. Aaron Rodgers sat on the bench for 3 years. Like,
right.
And now he's like Aaron Rodgers. So
Right.
you don't have to come in and play. Everybody's not like Josh Allen and the dudes y'all got. Like, some of these dudes are like are ready. Like they're ready because like they're ready. Like they're quarterbacks. Like they're quarterbacks. Everybody's not a quarterback. I'll give you a prime example. So, quarterback at Florida State, Jordan Travis. When Jordan Travis first showed up at Florida State, the dude did nothing but run the ball. Like, he just ran the ball. I was like, why is he here? Like, he's not Deshaun Watson running the ball because Deshaun can throw, but that's all he did. But now, like, not only can he run, but he's learned how to throw the ball. He's learned how to become like a quarterback. So, but this dude's been in college like 12 years. So,
yeah. But that's why, because I watched that game. Wait, we watched that game. That was the game down there, huh?
Yeah.
When watching that game, I think if they both would have came out next year, I think they both would have got drafted. I can see the potential in Richardson.
True.
But like I said, all respect to you guys, Florida State, he struggled.
He did.
I don't think last year. I don't think he should have struggled. I don't think he should. Like, I don't want a quarterback that would draft in the first round can't struggle against you guys of last year.
This is a fact. He should have came back. Look, Travis was a much better quarterback than him,
Yeah,
and he
I think
came
Travis
back.
is better. I think Travis is more NFL ready than him, and I
He
don't
is
want Travis.
right. He's
Like,
much better than Richardson, but
but he's
he
not ready
came
yet.
back. Like he ain't
And he's not
crazy.
ready.
Like he was like, hey, this was really my first year looking like a quarterback. I got to do this again because if not, his best shot would have been.
Tyson Hill.
I mean, if somebody would have drafted, it might have been like a 6, 7. You know what I mean? So if
Yeah,
you're a quarterback,
you get invited to like a camp, like he'll get to camps and stuff like that, but
I
you
don't
go
know.
to a camp with like a bunch of veterans and like, all right, it's not fair. Like, but
But I
yeah,
know that somebody's drafting Richardson and he's going in the first round. It's,
yeah. I just hope he doesn't go to the Raiders because I would like him to work, and they're not gonna. It's not gonna work.
I
Like,
mean, there's some teams he can't go to because it's over. He just has to go to
I also think that teams, all these teams are gonna mess up anyway. All these teams are gonna mess up anyway. Whoever drafts CJ Stroud is gonna mess up. Whoever drafts Bryce Young is gonna mess up. Will Eyes is gonna mess up. And I say that because I think all those teams are garbage. Carolina, they have no receivers. They just traded away their only receiver. So what rookie quarterback are you gonna have? Like, what are you gonna have him do? Who is he throwing the ball to?
nobody.
Okay, so then what is he supposed to like? How is he supposed to develop if he has no one to throw the ball to? Skip them. You're gonna go to what is next? The Colts. The Colts have like a bunch of veterans, but their team is old and like slowing down, and they did not look good last year at times. Like,
But they have again, to me, it's all you have to have a good coaching organization. Carolina is not in a good place. Like I don't give a crap what they do. So because again, you don't have to start them. Like
you should
I
not
think
start him.
there's this weird thing that's happened like over the last I don't know how many years. Like before, first round quarterbacks, I don't care how good you were, did not start. Like it was very, 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 very rare. Like
Because
maybe
you're
the
a
number
rookie.
one pick that went to like a really bad team.
I feel like Matthew Stafford was like one of the first ones I saw. Because I remember at a time when I grew up on football, like, oh, he's a new blah, 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 new guy. Like he'll sit behind somebody, and the next year he plays. Like that's kind of how it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Matthew Stafford comes like, we're trash. You need to play now. And then it was like there was some hope that he created, and they're like, oh, rookies come in and start away if they're like really good, and it's like you just right away giving the team like you're just setting up all these dudes for failure because I feel
Right.
like no one's ready to like. That's like taking a dude out of college and like giving them the keys to like one of those top businesses, like 5-star business. Okay, like run this. It's like
Right.
I
It's
don't
not
know.
working. And even before, like you sit them on the bench, your team's 0-7 or 0-8, half the season's over. Then you're like, all right, so you've been here half the year, you kind of see what's going on, and put you out there now for the last half of the year just to get some reps. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Because the season's over, we ain't gonna put no pressure on you. Let's just give you some reps, and because you need reps just to get used to it. So
Right.
even if they do that, like that's cool because again, everybody can't do it. Like Trevor Lawrence, like in college, he was a beast. His first year, you know,
Yeah, it looks scary.
yeah, like I was like, damn, like that don't look like him. But now, fast forward, like
Mm-hmm.
year two, totally
Coaching,
different guy,
coaching.
totally different. So I'm like, all right, he had the. But again, everybody can't do that. Some dudes will first year, second year,
Well, then he
and
also had, like you said, he had the coaching switch on that one also probably helped him too.
true.
Like Urban Meyer like was tripping at the end of that tour, and then you go to other parties, and I just feel like I just think of all the people back like you just think of all the different quarterbacks. Like I just feel like when teams like I hate to say it, but I think if the Raiders draft a quarterback, I think that quarterback will be one of the better ones in the draft class because at least if the Raiders draft him, like they're not the greatest team, but at least he had Devontae Adams throwing you the ball. Like that's the target for your rookie quarterback to develop under. Like
And
you
is
know,
it Josh And isn't Josh McDaniels the coach over there?
Yeah.
Oh, see.
So like, I don't love it. I wouldn't want him as coaches all this stuff like that. But like, as far as like compared to like said compared to Carolina, like I don't even know who's the other people. Like Carolina wants a quarterback. Who else is gonna want a quarterback?
Yeah, it's like he's going 1-3. I forgot who the other teams are. I haven't even.
Chicago's like right there. Let me see.
Chicago doesn't need a quarterback.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of the numbers. So,
They'll suck this year.
okay, here we go. So we got Carolina F1,
Right.
Houston,
Houston. Who's their
then
quarterback?
nobody.
Okay, so Houston.
Uh, here we go. Then we got Arizona at 3,
They don't. They're not gonna draft a quarterback.
maybe. I would say maybe. 4 is the
Take
Colts.
this dude.
Yeah, but that dude's 3 feet tall, and I never seen the dude. It's all right. Anyway, number 4 is the Colts. Number 5 is Seahawks.
No.
Number 6 is the Detroit. They
All
got
of
that.
a quarterback.
And then Vegas is 7. And then 8 is Atlanta, if you know.
They can take a quarterback. Like
And then you got Titans at 11. That's right there, I guess.
quarterback.
And it's like Jets, Packers. Washington's at 16. That's far, but they could get one.
They can get one.
And then it's pretty much like you guys at 19.
We can take one.
Vikings, yeah. You guys could get one. Would you take like Will Levis or something? Will Levis?
I don't know. There's another guy they've been comparing to. I haven't seen. I want to watch some of his tape, but they were comparing him to Josh Allen. Came from a small school, big arm.
Yeah, Will Levis.
Him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I
But
don't know if his comparison's not good though. It's just a big old white dude. That's the only comparison.
Oh, but I'm saying they said arm strength. His numbers in college were like almost identical.
So okay, Will Levis is rookie year Josh Allen now. So just like with Josh Allen, if he didn't get a coach to be like, you got to throw the ball to the right person and like accurately, it was gonna be rough. Like, because Josh Allen was rough like his first year. Like
He was.
his accuracy was was they were putting him like they were calling him a bust. Like they was calling him a bust.
Yeah.
They were calling him a bust.
But that first year though, I don't.
But he was looking like it though.
I'm trying. Other than like, name a quarterback first year in recent history who's like actually
For the whole year.
Patrick Mahomes.
But he didn't play his rookie year.
He didn't, but he played the last game his rookie year. So it's hard to say with him. So let's not count him. Let's say he's an outlier. So
I'm gonna say no, but yes, I agree with you because he did come in and show that he could do it. But
your guy too.
Yeah.
His first year was, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not so much concerned about the record. I'm just saying standing out there, having control of the offense, being able to make passes. Like, who else?
See,
Lamar,
Burrow,
but again, Lamar is different. He just uses feet.
Yeah, he had those different packages. But he started to come on towards the end of the year because we played him, and I didn't like that. Because we played him in the regular season, then we played him in the playoffs, and I was like, oh, like we didn't know what, like the first game we didn't like we knew what to do, but we didn't know what to do. Like it was like one of his first few games starting. It was like after the Flacco thing.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of like he says college aspects, but then like he was still throwing it. But then we put in the playoffs. It was like okay, we got it, we won. But like that regular season, we lost, and I was like, like, I don't know. I was like, I don't think we're equipped for this right now. Like we were not. We didn't look equipped, but then that's why we put in the playoffs and we used like safeties at linebacker.
Yeah,
that's when Durham was like, I'm playing Mike, I guess, all game, and then like it worked. So like that's our rookie year.
Everybody went back to almost park football now. Like,
Mm.
this dude is gonna beat you from sideline to sideline. So unless you have somebody who can kind of match that, you ass out. So
And I think what I'm seeing recently now, I want to see in the future is like, who's the what is the prototypical quarterback? Is it now like Mahomes? Is that what you want? Or I don't know. Because here's my thing.
between Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, like I don't. So it's like if you had to build a quarterback,
Oh yeah, I would say Aaron Rodgers would be a good one.
right? Because he
Like
did
he's like safe, but like also gutsy with the Mahomes aspect throwing.
the Seahawks. Russell Wilson, like when he was after they, kind of let him go for a minute. Like
Mhm.
it's a quarterback who can throw the ball, and you have the ability to move around in the
Oh
pocket.
yeah. Okay, yeah. Because he
It,
didn't really cross the line of scrimmage.
you don't have. I don't need you to run down the field. I just need you to be able to move because you have to think like now. The D tackles, I mean, the D ends are like
Safeties.
right. Like these dudes are super. They're fast. They're quick.
Everybody
Like
runs like a 4-4 now.
so, I don't need no. So if you're a quarterback in the pocket, one of two things has to happen. Either it's as soon as your back foot hits, the ball has to be gone, right?
Mm.
Like the Tom Brady thing. But you don't have. It's a saying that is always going to be true. 90% of the game is played from the neck up, right?
Yeah,
So
the
you don't have
passes.
who can do 90% from the neck up. You have maybe 70-30, some are 60-40. So be around in the pocket and throw the ball is your best bet to survive in like the new world.
Yeah, and I think people don't. I feel like I gotta give people credit. Like I feel like people don't realize how tough the pocket is, or how scary the pocket is. Like I feel like that's something that like is so interesting to be. Like if you ever enter it, like oh, like there's like 4 or 5 different fist fights going around in front of you, and then you gotta throw the ball if you're not like 6'6" between these two dudes who are fighting right in front of your face, and you get helmets and shoulder pads and
And then I don't think people realize like if you ever like you played quarterback, right? So
yeah.
you're going getting under center. Like when you're under center, like the defense is right there. Like they can literally if they just stand up, they can smack you in the head. Like
Yeah.
they're right there. So
Anything you're telling your teammates, they could hear you. Like I feel like that's always the funniest thing. Is like I'm talking about dude, and I'm looking at this dude make eye contact with me and be like, yeah, I know. And it's like, oh, do you really? Like, should we switch? Like, yeah, it's funny. Like,
and then just think you got like if you under center, which I understand why a lot of teams don't go under center. You got Aaron Donald or somebody like that or Vita Vea. Like you do not have time to drop back because as you're dropping back, like he's going, hey, bro, like
yeah,
you can smell this dude's breath.
yeah. Or you
You
get like a Danny Dimes or Kirk Cousins who's gonna see him and gonna like, I'm gonna say Daniel Dimes is gonna like drop the ball, because he sees like, oh, and like he's gonna panic because he has to go. Or he's gonna run and gonna trip over his own feet because he knows he's chasing. Like all these different things go into it. I think it's kind of funny. Like I think people got to give props to quarterbacks. Like that's why I feel like it's so. I think it's unfair when they get drafted first overall. Like I would hate to be a quarterback. So I'm like, I'm going to a garbage team, and I don't believe that NFL teams are aware of this. Like the quarterbacks that succeed, like they said, like, you see, think of the Mahomes. You go to like succeed like at least right away. Like because I said like Mahomes, you go like Burrow. They had like people around like at weapons. Like it wasn't like there was nobody over there. Burrow, like Herbo, we had people. Like everyone else, like I said, Chicago, that's rough. We don't know for sure because like the organization, like you say, you go to Carolina, that could be rough. Arizona, they've been picking number 1 or number 3 for the past 5 years. And like, it wasn't like they didn't draft a quarterback, and then the next year draft another quarterback at the same at number one again.
It's just like hitting the baseball is one of the hardest things in sports. Like picking a quarterback
Yeah,
has
knowing when to pick a quarterback, I think.
like what's the percentage of first round quarterbacks who hit? It's probably less than whatever the batting percentage is in baseball. It's probably more like 10, 20%. Like,
That's because I feel like people don't they pick them wrong time. Like I
but
think it's
you have you have to.
I feel
So
I feel you don't have to. I
you
think you
have
should go elsewhere before you go quarterback.
so you have two options. So you can not pick one in the draft and hope you get lucky because he's cheap, or you have to wait until somebody who's established and is good decides to move to another team. But now I have to pay you like a lot of money. So if I can get you,
Yeah.
it's like you got a sweet spot. If you draft a quarterback, you have 4 to 5 years before you got to pay him. So you can put all kind of stuff around him to make him better, right? You probably see this right now. Like your team probably spends a lot of money on stuff around them because they
Mhm.
can't. But
Yeah.
in two
Next
more,
year, 2 years.
right? Like it's gonna switch because now you got to pay him $500 million. Now you can't spend
Yeah.
that. You better hope these people you paid when he was getting ready, pan out, or you got to start bringing in some cheaper players. Right? NFL's it's a brutal game.
It is.
It's a brutal game. But I can understand why gambling's so big in it. Like everybody's gambling. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? You hope you
It's
pick
all
a
available. And
and
it's
even
like it's a fast
the
pace and
quarterback, if you have a sorry ass line, like
yeah.
not if you have a good quarterback. Like if your line is suspect, like this
You're
dude
gonna
might.
die. I mean, like you said, that's what I'm saying. Like, cause even for us, like I said, like that's why Joe Burrow towards ACL his rookie year. Because they didn't have offensive line. They had receivers, but they didn't have offensive line. Like he had weapons, but like I said, if he
Yeah,
didn't Tom Brady get it out, he literally broke his first year. They literally broke him his first year because they didn't have a line.
right.
So it's like there's all these different things I feel you got to go, and I don't think Arizona has or Carolina does not have a good offensive line right now. I can tell you that.
Oh, they do not.
So it's like so Bryce Young, he's like Tua size, if not smaller, and we already seen how Tua gets slammed around and concussions, how that works. He's a different person. I understand that concussions don't hurt everybody, but I think Bryce Young's gonna break unless he gets protected like pretty well, pretty decently. Because if like even with the whole like roughing the passer calls, like you're talking about Vita Vea is how I don't know how many pounds. Like that hurts. That's gonna hurt to fall on like an accidental or on purpose. Like we got you guys had Sue for so long, so people are just out there. Like you got people on the D line who aren't entirely like the nicest people. Like
No. And
so like and then
and
you're a pass rusher like
like
230 and you're gonna yeah.
y'all know, like um there was an NFL player. I just recently saw Takeo Spikes, right? Takeo
Yeah.
Spikes be a pretty big guy.
Mm-hmm.
Telling the story about when Larry Allen used to play for the Cowboys. He's one of them linemen, and
Mm-hmm.
he was pulling and he didn't see him. He's like, I'm about to unload on this dude and I'm gonna catch him. He said he put everything he had into him, and he said it felt like he literally hit a concrete wall. He said because the dude didn't move, and it's like he just looked at him, grabbed him, threw him. Right? He said, I'm a grown man. And he threw me like I was a kid. And he said, as I'm going back, I was just praying that I can move out of the way because he was going to pancake me.
Oh, that's gonna knock the wind out of me.
Right. Like, so, and
Almost die.
right. And again, Takeo Spike's like 6'2", 6'3", 240. Like,
Middle linebacker back in the day when like you could hit people and stuff like that. Like
he was a dude. And yet there's a tree trunk over here that is
yeah.
not moving. Like, just think how many of them are running around on the NFL side. And like you said, you're Bryce. You a buck 90 soaking wet with
Mm-hmm.
pads on. Like the last thing you need is for Aaron Donald to
Right.
move a center who's 300 pounds out of the way and go, "Hey, guy, what I'm about to
Right.
do is NSF."
Like I think it's funny, like the whole Aaron Donald thing, because it was like not right before they won the Super Bowl. The year before, everyone was like trapping him all year long. I feel like it was the funniest thing because it was like he talked to video. He was like, "Oh yeah, like at one point I knew they were trapping me, but I knew that like they started doing like trap play actions and stuff like that for him." He's like, at one point, like I understood what they were trying to do, and coach told me just go after the dude, go pick a person, and go punish that person. That person will tell coach to not run that play anymore, so we don't have to worry about the rest of the results of the play. So it's like I'm either going to slam the running back and he's not going to run as hard on the next play, or I can hit the quarterback and maybe he'll chuck it out, he'll throw it out or throw it short at the line of scrimmage, so we don't have to like run that far. And I'm like, this dude's talking about all these different things. Like I said, he's still punishing people. Like Carolina, I wouldn't want. Like I said, Texans, they don't have a. We played them this year, but like I wouldn't want. They got no weapons either. Like who do people throw the ball to?
Right.
Like that's my thing. Is like, how do you expect any of these quarterbacks to come in? Because I feel like even like we had the Herbo and like the Joe Burrow and like that whole quarterback class and two in them, but I feel like at least Oklahoma, Alabama, and where else? LSU, all those receivers are NFL on one of those teams. Like all
So you're
those
kind of
quarterbacks,
used to playing against
all those
NFL
quarterbacks got
caliber.
rookie NFL caliber, or if not like top tier NFL caliber receivers at their positions. Like
Right.
so, I think that's kind of weird that I mean, we haven't seen it yet, but like this receiving class, because that's what we might pick. I'm not that excited about, and we pick at 21, so it's like I can't see anybody else being like super in love with anybody before us to go pair it with your quarterback. You're gonna go in the second round, like I guess that's true, because like, but it's just like it's so interesting, but it's like he cut out like a little bit. So we'll see if we get back out here on the critical critics, but yeah, that's just my take on the NFL draft right now. We'll see how they go. We got some interesting peoples. Hopefully, we get a receiver at tight end, edge. You know, boost our teams up. Let's see. We picking in the second round. We picking the same spot. Ooh, we got a little bit higher third. That kind of third. Not really, but screw me. We'll check in on the critical critic and see how we doing. But looks like we've had some fun today. We'll see if we got anything more to do today. Alright. But that's been fun on the critical critics. Probably any now for now. I'm gonna go do it for later. I'm just talking.